Guys, I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be going over some truths about looksmaxxing that a lot of people don't talk about. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Now, the first truth is that any looksmaxxing technique that's not backed by science is going to give you little to no results at all. Things like thumb pulling, zygo pulling, all these random little pseudoscience techniques, they're going to give you little to no results. Most of the changes that you're going to make are from improving your health, doing skincare, and exercising, things of that nature. But anyways, I'm going to put this in the middle, kind of hard to accept, because I feel like half of the looksmaxxing community accepts this and half of it doesn't want to accept it. Half of it still believes in these pseudoscience techniques. Now look guys, I'm not saying that these don't work. I'm just saying that they're not going to improve your face enough to where it's going to be a big difference. Like, the biggest differences you're going to make are from changing your health. But anyways, the next one is that looks are more related to genetics than a lot of the looksmaxxing community tries to make you believe. Guys, this is something that looksmaxers will never talk about, and they don't want to make it seem like that. A lot of people will even say, you know, your genetics don't determine your looks. If you think that you're cooked by your genetics, that's not the case. No, bro, that's not true at all. For you to have a good, you know, transformation, glow up, you have to have good genetics to begin with. And guys, I'm not saying this to discourage you from looksmaxxing. I'm just saying this so that you have realistic expectations of what you can achieve. A lot of people will be like average or even unattractive, and they'll look at a top model and be like, one day I'm going to look like that through thumb pulling, or one day I'm going to ascend to that level. Respectfully, it's not possible for you. The most you can improve without getting surgery is maybe 1 to 2 points. I'll say like 1.5 points on like whatever look scale, like just the objective look scale. You can probably improve 1 to 2 points, but you can't go from like a 5 to an 8 just from regular looksmaxxing techniques. You're going to have to get into surgery. And also, certain genetic traits cannot be fixed through surgery. If you have a weird head shape or a super big forehead, there's not much you can do surgically to fix that. Also guys, no matter how much you looksmax, there's always going to be some dude who's never heard of looksmaxxing who'll probably look better than you without ever doing anything to even improve his looks. So I mean, chasing looks and obsessing over your looks is just not healthy. I do advocate for looksmaxxing. Obviously this is a looksmaxxing channel, and I think that you should want to improve your looks and get to the best version of you possible, but don't do too much, bro. Like, just be realistic and don't obsess over your looks. Learn how to love yourself, bro. That sounds cringy, but it's real. So I'm gonna put this in accept this or you're cooked. I think everyone needs to accept this. The whole entire looksmaxxing community needs to come to terms with the fact that genetics are more important than thumb pulling and whatnot. Anyways, moving on. The next one is that the black pill has corrupted the way that young men think today. And guys, I could talk about this for like an hour. There's a lot of different things you could go into about this, but one of the biggest things that I see is that I feel like the looksmaxxing community, or people who do looksmaxxing, almost have like a god complex. You'll see a guy who's average and he'll think that he's above other people who may even look better than him just because he knows about looksmaxxing and he looksmaxes, you know? And it's like, being a looksmaxer doesn't make you better than anyone else. Like, I feel like we've lost the plot. I think looksmaxxing originally was to improve your confidence in yourself and to attract women. Now it's just about being part of a group and getting validation from other men. If you ever take a look at a looksmaxer's like Instagram account, it'll be like pictures of them in the dark, cheek biting, squinting in the dark. It's weird pictures that would not attract a girl if she was to come across that person's page. And I don't even think they think about it from a woman's perspective. They're thinking about it from a perspective of, when other looksmaxers come across my page, will they think I mog or not? It's not even about will I get girls from this post, which is pretty gay if you ask me. And we also see people arguing in comment sections about which man mogs. Guys, you're basically arguing who your type is. Also, the influencer or the model that you're arguing for isn't going to let you hit. There's nothing that you gain from that. There's no value that you added to your life by arguing in a comment section about whether some dude mogs another one. So please start searching for employment, start touching grass, get hobbies, go to the gym, you know, do things that are going to add value to your life. Guys, I actually might make a full video about this specific topic, but anyways, we're going to say that this is something that you have to accept or you're cooked. We need to accept this as young men or we're cooked as a whole. Now moving on, the next thing is going to be that looks do not equal happiness. Now guys, a lot of looksmaxers try to make it seem like looks are everything. If you're a handsome guy, you just, you know, you have a beautiful life. Everything is handed to you. That's not how it goes. That's not the case. If this was true, you would see that every person that you see that's good looking is super happy in their lives, and they're just, you know, ecstatic about just being the most handsome guy on the planet. Even top models have insecurities, and top models can be depressed sometimes. We see this even with people who seem to have perfect lives, handsome, rich, famous. They have everything that you would imagine a person would want in life, and some of them will be depressed. Sometimes you even see really good looking people that commit suicide. So being good looking does not equal happiness, and this is why taking care of your mental health and self-image before you even get into looksmaxxing is important. You should actually be working on maintaining a good mental health just as much as you work on your looks, because if not, your insecurities will be your biggest downfall. And as we know, consuming looksmaxxing content will quickly give you new insecurities. So just make sure that you're taking care of your mental health as well. Anyways, I'm going to put this in hard to accept. Now, the next one is an even bigger argument to why you should not obsess over your looks, and it's the fact that looks fade, guys. It doesn't matter how attractive you are or how much you improve your looks. At the end of the day, everybody gets old and everybody's skin starts to wrinkle and sag. So all the improvements and stuff that you made over the years by obsessing over your looks will fade someday. And that's why making improving your looks an obsession is like fighting a losing battle. There's nothing you can do. Once you hit your 30s, your late 30s, or your 40s or whatever, you're gonna start to bald, you're gonna start to get wrinkles and just look older and less attractive, if we're being honest. So just don't make looks the center of your life. Focus on other things. If you sit down and think about the people that you respect most in your life, they're not all 9s out of 10s. And even if the person happens to be a 9 out of 10, I'm sure that it's other reasons why you respect them besides their looks. If you respect someone just because they look good, I'm not gonna lie, you low-key a weirdo. But anyways, I'm gonna say that this one is, it's not super hard to accept. I think most people don't want to accept this. Like most humans in general don't want to accept this, but I'm gonna just put it in the middle. Now guys, the next one is that most looksmaxxing transformations that we see nowadays are mainly puberty, weight loss, and better quality pictures. That's literally 90% of the transformations that I see. A lot of people will see these transformations and think that, oh my God, thumb pulling completely changed this guy's skull. No, bro, it's just a better picture and it's a different angle. And the dude grew up. It's like 10 years apart. So people be falling for this. I don't know why you guys fall for this, but this is like, I think this is kind of easy to accept. I think most people know this. There's like a small percentage, maybe not a small percentage, pretty big percentage of people who still fall for this. I'm gonna say it's kind of hard to accept. It's not super hard to accept, but I mean, this is just true. Now, the next thing is going to be that fixing one bad feature on your face isn't going to be the determining factor of whether a girl chooses you or not. If you have negative cancel tilt and then you fix it, you're not gonna just see an instant boost in like the amount of women that you're getting. That's not how it works. It's a lot of small changes in your face, in different areas of your face, that will make your face more attractive or significantly more attractive. Women aren't gonna just look at your cancel tilt one day, the next day it changed, and then all of a sudden women are flocking to you. That's not how it works. That's a retarded way to think. Anyways, I think this is like pretty easy to accept. I think that it's kind of hard to keep in mind, but it's easy to accept that, we know that women aren't gonna just start flocking to us if we fix our cancel tilt, but it's like we still are gonna be insecure about having like that specific feature. So this is easy to accept. I'm just gonna leave it here. Now guys, the next one was gonna be that being like the benefits of being attractive are overrated. And I kind of thought about this and I was like, low-key, I don't know if it's true. Like looking at a story like Jeremy Meeks makes you really think maybe it's not overrated. Maybe it really is that great, you feel me? But I feel like that's like for people who are above an 8 or a 9. If you're anything below that, I do think that the benefits of being attractive are low-key overrated. People be acting like, oh, everybody treats me differently. Bruh, it's not that different, bro. Like, it's not that great. Going from like a 5 to a 6 or a 6 to a 7 isn't gonna do that much for you. Now, once you get to a 9 and 8, I'll give it to them. But I'll say that, I don't know, this one, I don't even know if I wanna put it in anymore. I'm gonna just put it right here just cause. Anyways, the next one is gonna be that there's a big difference in what men think women find attractive and what women actually find attractive. And look guys, I see a lot of you guys paying for face ratings or, DMing me telling me to rate your face, and I always tell you guys the same thing. A man can't see you in the same way that a woman will. So my rating pretty much means nothing. A prime example of this is like when Aaron Pierre started going viral, a lot of guys were saying he's average looking or he's chopped. And even some of the looksmaxxing accounts like rated him a 4 or a 5. But women were absolutely fiending over this man. So that kind of tells you everything that you need to know. And if you guys notice too, a lot of these different looksmaxxing pages will rate a certain celebrity differently. Like they'll rate, every different page will rate somebody differently. I even saw 2 different looksmaxxer people like beefing over ratings. They were beefing over the fact that one made a video like, oh, this guy's face ratings aren't accurate, and the other one was like responding and shit, like just gay ass shit. But anyways, this is just, this is something that we need to accept. I think a better gauge of your attractiveness would just be to see how people treat you. And even then, it's kind of hard to tell because a lot of how people treat you is based on how you carry yourself and also your specific features. You might have very intimidating features, so people might not talk to you as much as someone who looks just as good as you but has more friendly features. So it's still kind of hard to tell, I'm not gonna lie. If I were you, I would just stop worrying about face ratings, specifically for guys who are looking for a partner. If you're looking for like marriage or you're looking for a girlfriend, like one partner to be with, you should just be worried about, you know, whether you can find a girl that likes you, because she's gonna find you attractive. So it doesn't really matter whether you attend to everyone objectively, you know what I mean? Now, if you're someone who's just trying to be outside and just get as many girls as you can, that's a little bit different. You know, maybe in that case, it makes more sense to be worried about like an objective rating because you want to be able to get as many girls as possible. But for those of you who aren't trying to live that type of lifestyle, I wouldn't even be worried about face ratings, but just get as attractive as you can get naturally. Or, I mean, if you want to do procedures, that's on you. I'm going to put this in hard to accept. I think most of the looksmaxxing community is still caught up with this like asking other dudes for face ratings thing. But anyways, the next one is going to be that a lot of brutal black pill and red pill takes. I should have put the red pill here as well, but it doesn't matter. A lot of these takes that people consider are brutal, like that are made to kind of like expose women, like women are, you know, purely hypergamous. They only want the Chad, like she wants a Chad, not me. She wants Duke Dennis, not me. Those takes are a lot of times hypocritical because from what I've seen, men are exactly the same way. Dudes in the red pill will say something like, women are hypergamous, they will never love you unconditionally, you know, women always love you, you know, if there's a condition to the love, like only men love unconditionally. That's not true, bro. It's just not true. And let me give you an example. Say you're in a relationship with a girl or you're married to a woman, right? And out of the blue, she tells you, we're living together, right? You're living with her. And she tells you, I'm not letting you hit no more and I'm no longer doing any chores in the house, cooking, cleaning, absolutely nothing. Like you're on your own. Wouldn't you break up with her? Wouldn't you divorce her? Yes, you would. And why is that? Because that's like an unspoken rule in the relationship. It's like an unspoken condition to you guys being together. You could even be in love with this woman and I still think that you would consider leaving her over that. Another thing is that when we see unattractive women like post on Instagram and the black pill like somehow gets a hold of the video, those dudes will bash the woman for being chopped just as bad as you'll see like girls hate on short guys, you know, on the internet. It's the same thing. Men are just as bad. And I actually almost think that guys put more importance on a woman's looks than girls put on men. I see a lot of chopped guys with attractive girls, but I don't really see a lot of attractive dudes with chopped girls. I feel like that's pretty rare. We don't really see that often. And when we see attractive guys going for chopped girls, it's usually just because men are generally more desperate than women when it comes to like having sex. Like dudes will basically hit anything. So that's not like, oh yeah, we'll go for that. No, we just would hit, but we wouldn't actually take that serious, let's be honest. But anyways, I think men and women are exactly the same when it comes to like the hypergamy stuff or like, you know, conditional love, you know, putting importance in looks. We all do the same shit, bro. I'm gonna put this in hard to accept. I think that most guys don't want to accept this, but it's true. Now, the next one, this is a super controversial take, and this is my personal take, but I think that if you're an attractive guy, I don't think that you should take a girl seriously who puts too much importance on your looks. And it kind of sounds backwards, but guys, if you meet a girl and she's showing signs of a girl who really puts importance on superficial things, like I won't date a guy who's, you know, shorter than 6 foot, and you're a guy that's 6'3", right? And she's like, I can't date these chopped dudes. She's just hating on chopped guys, but she's really glazing your looks. That's the type of girl who would leave you for someone more attractive, respectfully. That type of girl has a superficial mindset, and she's not there for you. She does not like you because of you. She likes you because you're 6'3" and you're a handsome guy. That's the only reason why she likes you. So I think that when it comes to choosing a partner, yes, you should choose a girl who is very attracted to you, who has you're her type. You should choose someone who you're their, you know, first choice, but you should also choose someone who likes you for other things, for other reasons, who has other reasons to like you besides the fact that you're a handsome guy. That's my personal take. Now I'm gonna put this in accept this or you're cooked, because if you actually decide to settle down with this type of girl, respectfully, bro, you're low-key cooked. Your girl's cheating, she's gone. Anyways, moving on, the next one is gonna be that employment comes before looksmaxxing. Guys, I'm not saying this is a joke. I'm being serious. A lot of people will tell you looksmaxxing is, you know, something that anybody can do is cheap. It's not cheap. eating healthy, getting skincare products, getting a gym membership, all these things cost money, guys. So looksmaxxing isn't cheap. You need some sort of income, or you need a job, employment. Maybe if you have some sort of side hustle, you need some type of money coming in if you want to looksmax properly, and if you want to be able to maintain it for a long period of time. So if you're broke and unemployed, get a job first. Stop looking at looksmaxxing videos, get a job. Anyways, the next thing is gonna be that looks are not the biggest factor when it comes to finding a partner long term. And guys, looksmaxxing is great for people who want to be in a short-term dating, like nightlife environments, all that. It's easy to get girls if you look good in those types of situations. But if you want a long-term partner, there's gonna be a lot of other factors, like what kind of man you are, whether a woman respects you or not, whether you're like simping and stuff. All these, there's actually certain red pill takes that are actually kind of true when it comes to long-term dating. And these are certain things that you need to like understand. Looksmaxxing alone is not going to keep you with a partner long-term. You can still get cheated on, even if you're a handsome guy. We actually see Chads get cheated on. We see Chads getting broken up with all the time. So being good looking doesn't save you from getting cheated on or broken up with. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to put this in kind of hard to accept. No, I'm going to put it in hard to accept, because I feel like most looksmaxers might not accept this. Regular people do, but for most people in the looksmaxxing space, maybe not. The next thing is going to be that health is more important than you think when it comes to looksmaxxing. Guys, a lot of the transformations and glow-ups that you see are mainly because of improving their health. A lot of times it's not thumb pulling and mewing and all these other things. You could technically say that mewing is improving your health because you're breathing through your nose, which is a proper way to breathe. So for that one, sure. But improving your health is gonna do a lot more for your skin, hair health, your face, debloating your face. All that is stuff that comes from health, exercise, and things of that nature. And those are gonna make bigger differences when it comes to natural looksmaxxing than like thumb pulling and whatnot. That's not gonna make as big of a difference as changing your diet and starting to exercise and, you know, taking care of your health in general. So I think that you need acceptance or you're cooked. You cannot just do thumb pulling and eat McDonald's every day. That's just not gonna work. So that's something you need to accept or you're cooked. Now, before we continue, I wanted to let you guys know that I dropped a school community not too long ago. It's probably the most affordable school community in the whole looksmaxxing space, and it's the only school community specifically for black men. I mean, you can join if you're not black too. You're gonna get a lot of value out of it, but it's mainly for black men. There's a bunch of different guides in there: looksmaxxing, dating, hair health, fashion, and each of them is like an hour long. So if you're interested in that, make sure you click the first link in the description or the pinned comment. With that being said, this is the end of the video. Make sure to let me know your opinions in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.